What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. We are still here on Victory Monday, and Victory Monday obviously means good things because the Seahawks just won a game, but it also means Snap Count Monday. Every Monday after a game is Snap Count Monday. So, got some numbers to go through here, got some data to check out here. You guys know the drill by now if you've been following the channel for a while. We take a look at how many snaps almost every player on the team played and compare it to the total number of snaps played and see who's playing and who's not playing and what the rotations are like. Yeah, you guys know what's up at this point. So we're going to start with the offensive side of the ball here. We've got 64 total offensive snaps by the offense, 64, which is a season low, but it's not a bad number either. Now, that number is reduced significantly because of the penalties. If a play is whistled dead or irrelevant or canceled out because of a penalty, then it doesn't count. So we probably snapped the ball offensively like 75 times in that game, but the penalties on the offense or the defense just wipe it out. So 64, let's remember that number for later. Obviously, Walker isn't playing, so 54 snaps go to, excuse me, Charbonnet, 10 go to McIntosh. And a lot of McIntosh's snaps were in garbage time when we were up 3 touchdowns and running out the clock. So it's technically a step in the right direction, but man, you can see clearly this team does not trust McIntosh to do anything. And people were asking about Helani in the post-game chat. Helani was hurt, and I think that's why he didn't get activated. But only giving this tiny share of the carries to McIntosh. And I want to be clear here, McIntosh didn't need to be out there a lot in this game because Charbonnet was killing it. Charbonnet played a really good game, but at the same time, this is not a recipe for success. It's okay for now because Walker's going to be back soon, and it's not like Charbonnet is going to have to play 90% of the snaps in every game, but this is getting kind of curious. You would think that at a certain point, you would be able to get McIntosh even like 20% of the snaps and it'd be okay. 25%. If you don't trust him to do that much in his second year, that's really not a good sign for him as a player. All right. So that's it for the running backs. Pretty simple stuff here. Before I go any further, though, I want to say I hope you like this video. If you do, please click the like button down below. Help the channel out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want daily Seahawks content. We are like 89 or 88 subs away from the end of month goal of 18,400. So we're closing in on it there. Click the bell for notifications as well. Become a channel member for $2 a month. Those are the best ways to help support the channel. Okay, so now let's move along to wide receiver. So interesting spread here. Metcalf actually missed 11 snaps, so he played a lot of the game, but he actually played less of the game than JSN. So obviously in an offense like this, where you have a lot of good receivers and you're doing a lot of different things from snap to snap and play to play, you are going to see things get mixed up a little bit. You are going to see things get switched around a little bit. But it is interesting to note that Metcalf did get 11 plays off. I think he might have gotten dinged up a little bit at one point in this game, just a little bit. And that pulled him out, but he went back in later, so it's not like it was a big problem, but maybe that's why. Lockett, 36 snaps, which I think is going to kind of become the norm for him to play a little more than half, but not much more than a half of the game. That Patriots game, a little bit of an aberration right now, but I like the idea of not playing him more than 60% of the game if you can avoid it. JSN plays almost the whole game, 56 out of 64 snaps. Makes sense. He is one of the big playmakers on this offense right now, especially with Walker out. Even when Walker's back in, I think he's going to continue to play a lot because there seems to be a level of comfort in playing him on the outside as well as in the slot. So that's obviously going to help boost his snap count. And he's currently sitting at 83%, which is a little bit lower than Metcalf, but it's right in the same area. It's like 3% less. And then you got Bobo playing 19 snaps, another quiet game for Bobo. I'd get used to that. Right now, this offense needs to learn how to do the basic stuff a little bit better before they can think about the more exotic stuff. So 19 snaps. You know Bobo's out there grinding on running plays. You know he's out there run blocking his butt off. And right now, that's what we need from Bobo. We don't need a big-time playmaker in the offense. We just need a guy out there who can grind. Chenault, 9 snaps, so he continues to be sparingly used, but we're trying to figure it out. And I know that there's going to be some desire to see him bust a big one at some point to justify his place on this team, but you got to remember a lot of the stuff that he does is probably there to set up plays later in the game, other plays. So the big play may not come anytime soon. That doesn't mean he's not out there helping the team. And then Derek Young had 4 snaps, didn't really do much of anything either. And that's it for the wide receivers. Pretty straightforward. I think pretty much within expectations of what this offense is going to do this year. Tight end, however, is actually really interesting. And this stands out to me because the tight ends were used so effectively in this game. We had 10 catches total by tight ends in this game. And Noah Fant had one of his better games as a Seahawk. And he played less than half the game. He was only out there for 28 snaps. He was out-snapped by Pharaoh Brown, who just got back from an injury. So Noah Fant gets used sparingly. They decide to use him only in situations that benefit his skill set. And look at the results. He caught 6 passes for 60 yards. And a lot of those catches were big and important and crucial. Pharaoh Brown, 30 snaps. 1 catch. A.J. Barner, by the way, 18 snaps as well. That's not nothing. That's not even close to being nothing. That's more than a quarter of the game. So they're cooking something up with this tight end stuff. I think they figured out who does what, when, and why, and where. So I find this to be really compelling. Even Brady Russell got 3 snaps, although I think some of his snaps come as like a surrogate fullback more than anything, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So Noah Fant, 28 snaps. Pharaoh Brown, 30 snaps. First game back from an injury. And obviously we ran the ball a pretty decent amount in this game, so it kind of makes sense, but that's still surprising, man. And it worked, right? You got to say that it worked. Noah Fant had his best game of the year by far. All right, so offensive line's going to be really quick and easy this week because all the starters played every snap. Ross, Tomlinson, Williams, Bradford, Forsyth all played 64 snaps. Nobody else played. The only thing to comment on really would be that this was Bradford's worst game of the year, which is saying something. And he doesn't get rotated out for a single snap with Haynes, even though they've talked about rotating Haynes in for Bradford on occasion. Bradford plays that game where he's just completely atrocious, unplayably bad, and Haynes doesn't get a single snap. This is starting to be a really bad indictment on Haynes. Because Bradford's one thing, right? Bradford had very little experience in college football. He played like 17 starts. Like he doesn't really have a lot of collegiate experience. LSU really didn't get a chance to play all that much. Christian Haynes was like a 4-year, he might have even been like a 5-year starter at UConn. Him not being up to speed yet is concerning. Or it's an indictment on this coaching staff that we just refuse to play a rookie, even though he's clearly a better option. Something's wrong here, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm a big fan of developing continuity on the offensive line, but you can't do it when Bradford is playing so badly he's going to get his quarterback hurt. And he is, the way things are going. But, yeah, that's it for the snap counts on the offense. Let's go over to the defense here. 61 snaps on defense, so we actually had more snaps on the offense. Again, this is influenced by penalties, canceling out plays. But ultimately, pretty good, right? 61 snaps on defense, you're doing something right. And the defensive line snap counts are going to be interesting, but at the same time, not necessarily educational because we had injuries. Leonard Williams plays 5 snaps and then he pieces out. Byron Murphy plays 12 snaps and then he pieces out. So, by the way, excuse me, I don't know what's going on with those 2 guys yet. And odds are good that McDonald is not going to tell us until the end of the week. So, I don't know if we can learn anything here. I mean, Jaron Reed had to play 49 snaps, which is a lot for him. So, shout out to him for grinding it out. Mike Morris plays 14 snaps. I would have liked to have seen more in this situation, but we got, more snaps than he's played in the first 2 games this year combined. And Jonathan Hankins also played 33 snaps. So they found a way through. Obviously, this isn't what you want, but for a game, it's okay. I don't know if you can really say there's a benefit from Williams and Murphy not playing that much in a game. Like normally, yeah, but in this game where they're hurt, I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's something to like celebrate. It would be if you were able to grind out a win without 2 of your 2 best defensive down linemen, but at the same time, if they're hurt, like that's not a positive sign either. So I would say that this could end up paying dividends down the line when these guys aren't as tired at the end of the year. But right now, we're just waiting on pins and needles. I can't say that it's good news that those guys got hurt, but certainly notable stuff here. Linebacker, pretty interesting here. Tyrell Dodson misses 6 snaps in the game. I think some of them were plays where it was garbage time, and he was just being held on the bench because we were pulling starters out. Tyrese Knight gets 35 snaps, so he's got another game where he plays more than half the snaps. To my eye, he played pretty decently. I'm not going to go crazy over it because he is playing against a remedial offense, but at the same time, that Miami rushing attack remains legitimate, and they didn't really do much yesterday. So I'm going to say that anybody involved in the run defense yesterday probably did their job. So Tyrese Knight, 35 snaps out of 61. Drake Thomas also got in on the action a lot. I'm not 100% sure why he played so much. I don't know if somebody got hurt. I don't know if they just wanted to rotate a player in and out. But Drake Thomas got 19 snaps, and I thought played passably. Couple plays where he got caught flat-footed, I thought, and looked a little bit stupid in coverage. But he's Drake Thomas, right? He's not even your first reserve. He's your second reserve. What you can get out of him, you are grateful for. All right, so that's the inside linebackers. Let's look at edge here a little bit. And this is great to see. This is really encouraging. So still no Uchenna Nwosu, and this team finds a way to evenly split snaps among their top 3 guys at edge. And I think Draymond Jones played a couple of snaps on the interior as well. But 40, 40, 41. That is beautiful right there. 40 snaps for Mafe, 40 snaps for Hall, who played the best game of his career by far, 41 snaps for Draymond Jones. That is exciting that they were able to find that kind of equilibrium. They may have not been able to do it if the game was closer and more competitive and they needed a little bit more from their pass rush throughout the game. It may have been a situation where they were able to dictate that with ease because the offense was not posing any kind of a threat. But this is still great to see. And then you see guys like Trevis Gibson contribute a little bit, 15 snaps. Tyus Bowser, 12 snaps. First 12 snaps as a Seahawk. So meaningful, but not over the top. And this is how you construct a balanced rotation. This is about as good as it gets. And think about what it's going to be like when Nwosu gets back. I mean, this could be something really beautiful. And I do think Draymond will probably slide inside a lot when Nwosu gets back. But still, this is really encouraging to me. Cornerback, both outside corners played 54 snaps, so there were a lot of snaps where they weren't on the field. I think some of it was garbage time. Some of it wasn't, though. Although, really, the last 3 quarters of this game were almost like garbage time, if you're being straight honest. 54 snaps each, 33 snaps for Trey Brown, so that's like slightly more than half. And Nehemiah Pritchett, 7 snaps. It's not all garbage time with him either. I saw him on the field for a couple of like third quarter snaps, I think. So he's getting out there in meaningful moments as well. And he's not doing anything to make me mad at him. Not like last week on special teams. And then finally we got safety. Rayshawn played the whole game, 61 snaps. Julian Love played 54 snaps, same as Witherspoon and Woolen, so he probably had the same set of rotations. Kayvon Wallace plays a decent amount, so he's fine, 18. And then you see how much we were able to get Kobe Bryant out there, 20 snaps in this game after playing 1 combined over the last 2. That's a pretty good sign that we felt comfortable getting backups and rotating players in and out of the lineup against the Dolphins. All right, guys, so that's it for Snap Count Monday. I mean, this is mostly really good, right? I don't love everything, but defensively, where I think snap counts matter a little bit more, it's encouraging. And this could be encouraging as well, the Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy stuff. I don't know. It just depends on the nature of their injuries, right? I don't want them to get hurt, but if they get to take a early season game off, basically, and not play or play very little, that could pay dividends down the line. All right. More videos coming later. I'll see you guys. Go Hawks. Let me know what you think. And everyone have a good day.